His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happen in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demolition of CDC headquarters in Comot Town, which was carried out through a court order. How does the administration ensure that such enforcement action are done fairly and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. It's the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. If that demolition is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law.
Why will George Weah, who is tempted by Joseph Boakai, who was drowning in his Egypt land, who was dead, very red up, dirty, stink, you could find him passing around, practically dead and useless. Why will such a man conduct make you real vex that you will struck the work and then lose God's own mission to take you to the promised land? That was the test of time today for George Weah. If George Weah had reacted, you are falling in the place of Moses.
The Liberian National Police commends the Congress for Democratic Change for the discipline, calm, and statesmanship demonstrated during the recent eviction process. Your respect for the rule of law, despite the deep sentimental value and history attached to the property, reflects a maturity that strengthens Liberia's democracy. This movement is not only a testament to CDC's leadership, but also a reminder to all political institutions and citizens that our democracy grows stronger when lawful decisions are honored peacefully.
Today, you have a rebel police director who thinks that he has arrived And the worst thing about all these people, they all benefited from the magnanimity of George Weah. Ranging from people on the bench of the Supreme Court, they got letters from George Weah. If some of them choose to pay him back with evil, it's up to them. The very Gregory Comer today, he worked in the previous administration when Weah came, he also got another letter again. If he chooses to do what he's doing, it's up to him. But one thing I can tell you for sure is this is how Weah had always been molded. That's how God has already molded Weah and catapult him into success. He will suffer rejection, denigration, humiliation. That has been his life. How can you make somebody who has been down the line their shame? The person has gone through shame. They have gone through disgrace. They have done everything they cared. Whatever people thought and were laughing at them, they surmount everything and catapult themselves into becoming someone who is towering that the whole world can look at today. What more can you do? You think you're bringing that person down? You're just hurting yourself. In fact, what you are doing, you are destroying yourself. You know what it takes for you to proud in yourself of being bad? When people are looking for good image, you are happy in becoming a bad person. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. He would never, ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But there's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. He would never, ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. He would never, ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. He would never, ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
You see that? You see that? You see that? You see that what they do? You see what they do? You see what they do? You see what they're doing? They're shooting what? Before we go people become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong, and no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happen in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because their SAR is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much
important. His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
On this 4th day of March 2026, the reign of Judo Christopher, we are gradually marching toward 2029. But until then, we've got the work before us to do, and we are executing. They will have to listen and do what is right, even as that it wouldn't give them the guarantee for 2029. Again, thank you that you joined us. I'm Sam Andrews, as always. Can get started without acknowledging God, the creator and sustainer of the universe, the God who keeps watch over each and every person. He is the good God, faithful in all of his ways, never reneging on his promises to us, but fulfilled every word that he uttered in the fullness of his time for our benefit. He is the good God. Thank you too for coming on. We acknowledge you as we acknowledge God. You are so special, so massive, so extraordinary, man. Great people. Let's bring on some of you. Time is of the essence. The protocol so very long. The names are flowing down like water running down the hill. Stanley Sharif, says Lou Blackmon, Jeremiah Labla, that's Gaza, Gaza Community, Soul Clinic, Gaza Community, Pico, New Crew Town, Claude de Paul, Yvonne David, Canada, Stanley Sharif, Silva, Washington, Broadway City, Antonin Yaoundé, Broadville,
your residents. Philip Topa, Dallas, Texas. Saturday Woodaway, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Stanley Bozo, Congress City. Timothy Tiaro, Corwell. Gamonta, McIntosh, Old Road, Gaytown. Therese Weir, Johnson Community, Wookie Davids, Sianen Tyler, Batnersville Estate, Boakat Zodua, Cecilia Massaque, Norway, Clary Allison, Delaware, USA, Friend, that's Prince Dukley, Habel City, Lower Magibi County, Benita Chie, Ambassador Walter Morgan, CDC regular intellectual militant, Malu Fofana, 20th Street Sinker, Paris Lobart, New Jersey, USA, Heron T. Toad Jr., Caldwell, your residents, Mali Ivy, North Carolina, USA, Usman Saw, Gale Street Business Center, Juan Momalu, the same place, Jukonti Chie, Business Center, Orita Jikla, Gabriel Lawson, Iron Factory, Broad Street Business Center, McGill, Bagali, Vonjeman City, Lofa County, Yellow One, Yellow One County, Yellow One Home, Rita Christine Hayes, Massachusetts, USA. My dear sister Orita Sunday Choir, good to have you on. It is my understanding that you are faring well. That's good. Hope that you are battling that cold. You got to get rid of it. But it's good that you are on. It's so excited as always, inspired by your presence. Thank you for coming on. Joram D. Best, Congress for Democratic Change, and the chairman, the one and only chairman, the chairman for life, Roma Rico, Kennebor Olatupan, District 18, Block 18 Intellectual Center chairman, the reference print chairman, the chairman for life, the one and only chairman, common citizen chairman. Good to have all of you great people on. Let's get out of Liberia as quickly as we can. Belgian prosecutors say 3 people have been detained in an investigation into suspected crimes and crimes against humanity linked to Cameroon's separatist conflict. The suspects are believed to be leaders of the Amazonian Defense Forces, an armed group seeking independence for Cameroon's English-speaking Northwest and Southwest regions. Prosecutors alleged the group raised funds in Belgium to support the armed struggle, including the purchase of weapons, and that some instructions for attacks may have been issued from Belgium. The United Nations says more than 6,500 people have been killed since the conflict began nearly a decade ago. The Anglophone crisis started in 2016 after lawyers and teachers protested the use of French in courts and schools before escalating into an armed rebellion in 2017. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa says Africa is willing to help mediate the Middle East conflict if asked. Speaking at an energy conference in Cape Town, he said a ceasefire in talks are the best way to end the war, and that the government is trying to bring some South Africans stranded in the region. He warned the conflict is putting major shipping routes like the Strait of Hormuz under pressure, pushing oil prices up and haunting supply chains. Meanwhile, United States President Donald Trump has said the U.S. will help protect energy shipments through the strait, including possible naval escorts and insurance support. The UK has announced an immediate suspension of education visas for nationals of Cameroon, Sudan, Myanmar, and Afghanistan, arguing that some applicants have been using student routes as a pathway to claim asylum. The Home Office says asylum applications linked to students from those 4 countries increased by more than 470% between 2021 and 2025, in that nearly 135,000 asylum seekers have entered the United Kingdom through legal routes since 2021. The decision comes amid mounting political pressure to reduce migration and asylum numbers as successive governments continue to struggle to curb small boat crossings of the Channel from France, which brings significant numbers of undocumented migrants to the United Kingdom. And Ghana's president, John Dramani Mahama, has warned that the United States-Israel war on Iran could have serious economic consequences for Africa. He described the Middle East as the epicenter of global oil supplies and said African economies must prepare for possible setbacks. His comments come as the United States President Donald Trump said the U.S. has the capability to go far longer than its projected 4 to 5 weeks time frame for the military operation. The United States Department has urged all United States citizens to leave more than a dozen Middle Eastern countries amid de-escalating conflict. Some of the developments unfolding out of Liberia. And let's get our first pointer from Ghana. This goes for, we've been thinking about this over the days, that it's going to have a serious effect on the entire world. The world is interconnected. We had Ebola, even though there were signs shown, but then we overlook it here, not talking about the other countries. And then we had signs of COVID-19, we overlook it again. We didn't have the contingency in place to curb or to position us if the crisis escalated. We have before us again another one. Truly, the president of Ghana is right. We've been thinking about it over the time. And this morning, I listened to something like that on the BBC, but it was the economic focus was on Southeast Asia, the connectivity or interconnectivity with the discussion on oil, how it's going to have a serious impact on those countries that surrounding or within that bloc. And the Ghanaian president couldn't have put it right. Before then, we heard the US president yesterday that he made it very clear. He made it very clear, warning or urging citizens of the United States to leave wherever they are. Now, listen, in a military term, if you hear such instruction or such saying, it doesn't come 2 times, it doesn't come 3 times, 4 times, it comes once. And there is a possible attack. And so if you are not out in time, you might be affected. Because they are concerned about their citizens, they urge United States citizens. They did not say citizens of other countries, because they are not concerned about citizens of other countries. We told you yesterday when we're talking about the death of Austin, Liberian in Ghana, and how our people here playing lip service on it, acting too diplomatic. America isn't like that. They don't want to know about the other citizens. They gave warning to their citizens to leave. They've told the people everywhere, you find yourself within the conflict zone to leave. In a military term, what that means is there is every readiness for a full-scale attack. What you have just heard is true. America is positioned. America is ever ready. What is unfolding, all of us know. The regions around Iran is feeling the effect. They've gone into Lebanon, parts of Lebanon that is housing Hezbollah, and Iran supports or had been supporting Hezbollah, just that region. They are not going after just anybody because there are several Arab countries within that block or belt. But their focus is on Iran and then the other people who are supporting some way, somehow. They have everything. But here is it. Why am I highlighting this? We are a subservient country. Ghana is far better, far ahead of us. No disrespect to our country, but we have everything to stand on our own, even though no country can be 100% standing on its own. But you are at 60 to 75%. Because God gave us everything, yet we are a subservient country. We stay at the feet of other countries to feed us, to give us everything for existence. And we had COVID-19. COVID-19, we heard the president of Ghana, then the former president, Nana Akufo-Addo, giving weekly addresses, talking about Ghanaian scientists, Ghanaian factories, and on and on. While we were here, just looking up to the United States government to help us. Our government here would not put any mechanism in place just in case there is a major global setback. And truly, it's going to be, no doubt about it. It is not any if and end. There's going to be a major. In fact, it is already having a toll on countries. When developed countries have started to feel the pinch of the Israeli-United States war, if they have started to feel it, then imagine African countries that are feeding on those countries. It's just like a person who is supplying you. And then the person faces or is facing a difficult situation. The person will not turn to you with any supply. The person will look at his position. So you will be left on your own now. You will be left to fend for yourself. And if you don't have any means whatsoever, you don't have any contingency plan in place, you're going to die. Listen again, please. He is right. Our government would not. The Unity Party government here would not take into consideration all of those things they say. Oh, gasoline stable, petroleum products stable, LEC stable, all the ones stable. They would not say, let's develop a plan because it is very likely the war might last for the next 4, 5 weeks, 7 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. We do not have control over that war. We can determine, but we as a country have to put in place a mechanism by which if we are not getting global supply, if the connections are not flowing for things coming into our country, we will not feel much of the impact because we will have already have a contingency plan in place. That's one of the reasons for existence. Listen again. Ghana's president, John Dramani Mahama, has won the United States-Israel war on Iran, could have a serious economic consequences for Africa. He described the Middle East as the epicenter of global oil supplies, and said African economies must prepare for possible shocks. Meaning, he has already spoken with his cabinet. I bet you, challenge it, take it from me. Our government, our president, he even thinking in this direction. The man is more political. He's thinking who he should go after. He's thinking the next person that he'll put in jail. This is where they have to show diplomatic leadership in crisis. How do you position your country? Your country is a subservient country. Liberia is a subservient country. A subservient country is that country that is at the mercy of developed country for survival. We get almost our budget is supported by developed country, logistical support, developed country. We ask countries everywhere for things. The agreements that are signed here, they are from developed countries. They are from multilateral institutions. They are just from outside. We got nothing. We got nothing. When I say we got nothing in terms of plan, but we have something called natural resources that we can use to develop. Do you know that at this, by now, we should have almost everything for ourselves? Look at, you see how the people depleting our resources. See how they are taking everything out of this country with the approval of the government. Today, Liberia still begging. Liberia does not have a single thing of its own. The construction, every construction in this country is not done by Liberian government. Every construction is done by the Chinese. Anything can go and call the Chinese. Yeah, the Chinese there over here pass. Look at almost everything. I'm not talking about those structures that George Weah put down, Freeport, FPRC, NSA, and those other things. Things that you can look at, that is something happening in another country, will say, yes, it will have an effect on us, but it will not be a damning effect. That means it will not be too strong. We will already have positioned ourselves like what you see about to happen. We ain't get nothing. FPRC there, the political FPRC. Nothing there. So, but the time that things start hitting Africa, we'll just be at the mercy of America. John Dramani Mahama is right. Now, listen, he just did not make the statement. He had already discussed with his cabinet. They have a contingency plan in place. These people are far ahead of us, far ahead. The other countries, African countries, they are far ahead. Far. The people, they are futuristic. That means they think in the future that, look, this thing that is happening, it might have effect on us. What do we do? Let's have this in place, have this in place. Just in case it hit us, we will have already have a solution for our people. The only thing you can get from Liberia, politics, going after people. The president and people sit down, who to go after. Then they raise morale and say, oh, the law is the law. Then there's an interesting one, just a thought for you, an interesting one from the one is just for your discussion, just for your laughter. The world is so interesting and funny. This one is from Uganda. In Uganda, the chief of defense forces, Uganda Army, has vowed to arrest and jail any man who kneels before a woman to propose for their hand in marriage. General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, he is the son of the current dictator, the tyrant and despot in Uganda, Yoweri Museveni. in a series of posts on X this month that the practice, according to him, is white people's nonsense and not African. He warned that men caught kneeling doing proposals could be arrested. That if you kneel, just like you see the boy, the man will kneel before the woman and say, will you marry me, with the ring in his hand. The army general in Uganda said, a white man's culture. Anybody, they found anybody in Uganda, any man kneeling before a woman proposing marriage, you'll be arrested, persecuted, and sent to jail. In fact, in Uganda, said no much prosecution, you're going straight to jail. Got a dictatorial atmosphere. Okay, so let's go to the second pointer with God then. So what is unfolding? What is unfolding? What is unfolding within the government? What is the government's reasoning? What's the coordination? What's the coordination? I do not sense coordination in the government, in rescue government. What I sense is distortion. Yesterday, they raised the same issue. To some extent, they were right because information has to be synchronized. So they argue a lot in opposition. And even some of the people within former president, we are government, raised concern about that. The president himself then analyzed the situation and decided to find solution by appointing the Reverend Counselor at Law, or Anthony at Law, or whether he's a lawyer, counselor now, former Information Minister Lawrence Bropley, to develop a plan by which the government information will be a synchronized one, meaning you will not have distortion. You will not have this ministry saying one thing, the other ministry saying another thing. This agency director comes in to say something on that same thing, and then he's saying it in a manner that is not going well. The people not getting the message but confused. Another person comes up. We see the same thing in Unity Party government. What unfolded in Ghana is country to country. It's not agency versus country or agency and country. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs did release a statement saying that they communicated with the Ghanaian government on the alleged mob to death by Ghanaians Austin Tingbe. The police come to and say they have communicated with the Ghanaian government. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Liberian National Police, who got the right to communicate? Here is it, just except from the two statements. The Liberian National Police confirms that it has formally engaged. It has formally engaged. Formal engagement goes two ways, oral or written. The Liberian National Police confirms that it has formally engaged the Ghanaian Police Service regarding an incident of mob violence that resulted in the death of 26-year-old Liberian national, Mr. Austin Tingbe, in Sakumono, District of Accra, Republic of Ghana. Preliminary information provided by Ghanaian authorities indicate that the incident occurred at an apartment complex in Lashibi, near Sakumono, Accra. So they're providing everything, just except from that. Then the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, here is it. Here's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs statement. The government of Liberia has received confirmed information. The government of Liberia, the foreign ministry, the police is a component within the government. The police is not a country. The force is not a country. Yesterday, they argued bitterly. They ran with this. Everything was not 100% perfect in the Wiyat government. And as a matter of truth, not everything that the president is aware of. People do their things. There are things that the president is aware of. There are things that happen. It happened before it can reach the president's attention. You're responsible for communication, information, press secretary, all of those areas. The president cannot coordinate the information flow, inflow and outflow. That's why everybody has their responsibility. There's division of labor. If one is not functioning, it doesn't say it is the president's ineptitude, but that's how they interpreted it yesterday. Today, the same thing. Can we attribute this to Bouaka's ineptitude? Nobody will accept that. No, that would be foolhardy to attribute it to Joseph Yema Bouaka, Yellow One. But yesterday, that was their politics. So we can make it our politics today also. That complete ineptitude. It's ineptitude to the core. This is usurpation of function. This is diplomatic. It's on a diplomatic level. The only thing the police can do when the government of Ghana make a request XYZ around the police area, and they will not communicate with the police yet directly, they will communicate with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs now will communicate with the Liberia National Police and say, this is what the Ghanaian government requests XYZ. Yes, it. The government of Liberia, the police statement say, the Liberia National Police confirms that it has formally engaged the Ghanaian Police Service regarding an incident of mob violence that resulted in the death of 26-year-old Liberian national, Mr. Austin Tenji, in Sakomono district of Accra, Republic of Ghana. The Foreign Ministry statement. The government of Liberia has received confirmed information regarding the death of a Liberian national, Mr. Austin Tingbe, age 26, following an incident that occurred on February 27, 2026 in the Lashibi, Sakumono area of Accra, Ghana. The two statements giving the guy different name. You see why you have to be careful? The police statement, the man last name, they say they spell the man last name Tengeeh. In the Ministry of Foreign Affairs statement, they spell the man's last name Tengbeh. So by logical reasoning, there are two different persons here. Two different. The police talking about one person. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is talking about another person. My name is Andrews, Andrews. If you say Andrews, you're not referring to me. You're referring to another person. If you say Tengeeh, that one person is different from Tengbeh. It means there's no coordination. Everybody trying to prove a point. The police trying to prove a point that they are in control. They have taken siege of the matter. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs trying to prove a point that they have taken siege of the matter. And the issue is purely diplomatic. So everybody looks up to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And all of those diplomatics in country to country. Enough. The Foreign Affairs Minister, that which concerns the police, fine. But you cannot usurp the function of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or position yourself that you are the official authority to take siege of the matter. Plenty happening in unity government, unity party government, or yellow machines government. Don't see it like they. Plenty, all kind of small politics then happening. You're coming to yes only a few days. Some people then they ain't satisfied. Yes, the second line, then we'll move on. I just thought to give you the difference, or who has what right and who is usurping. Ministry of Foreign Affairs statement, the second paragraph. The embassy of Liberia in Accra, the embassy of Liberia in Accra was informed of the matter on February 28, 2026, and immediately initiated contacts with the relevant Ghanaian authorities, including the crime unit of the Sakomono District Police, to obtain verified details and to ensure that appropriate procedures are being followed. You think the people who knows diplomacy very well, far better than Liberia, they will just communicate with the Liberia National Police when they know the channel? Everybody in this government just showing up. They're just showing up like they know it all, and they're just messing things up. Just thought to share that with you. Let's move on to Unity Party surrogate, honest admittance and confession. Unity Party surrogate, honest admittance and confession. Before that, let's focus on the Ministry of Justice fear. The Ministry of Justice is a toothless bulldog. The Justice Minister isn't man enough. No disrespect, but you can't stoop so low. You make the legislature or the Senate or the House of Representatives to feel that they are not only powerful, but no one should checkmate them. No one should checkmate them. It came out from the GAC report conducted on the, how they call it, systemic audit conducted on the legislature. And they came out with damning report, damning discrepancies of all kinds. And the Justice Ministry immediately communicated with the Senate, requesting it to present all relevant documents and orders so that it's going to be reviewed, or that they will review it and then take the appropriate action as part of their responsibility to curb or crack down on corruption. Boagazi cleaning a system of corruption. The Senate got vexed. The Senate got vexed. The legislature got vexed. They summoned the Justice Minister. The Justice Minister went, respectfully honoring the request of the Senate. After the guys got through with their inquiry, their presentations, hear what the Justice Minister says, stooping so low, Unity Party Justice Minister, afraid of those people. He said, I am sorry. I am sorry for the overzealousness of my staff in filing subpoena to Criminal Court A against the Senate because I didn't sanction it. And so I quash it by withdrawing. How will your staff, your legal people in your office just draw up a subpoena and move to court requesting that the court will request the Senate to present all of their documents on alleged corruption without your approval? Who does that? It tells you, he confirms what he said in 2024, that this is his first major big job as justice minister. He have not held any government position before. This demonstrates his fear. A justice minister, as we see in other countries, will face up to the Senate and say, yes, I'm aware. And this is it, this is that. They will argue in a place there. Listen, the Senate does not have, the legislature does not have absolute power. The Constitution does not give it that junta power. That if they're not satisfied, they just send you to jail for the longest they can. No. They only have a contempt power, and the contempt has to be reasonable within the ambit of the law. So why be afraid of those people? You see why the three branches of government, not really representative of the three branches of government, they make the legislature to think that they are absolute. They are the holy ones. That they should be the only people checkmating people by summoning. What makes you think the Senate is exempt from accountability? That nothing about the Senate can be transparent, people should know nothing. Yet they will be checkmating other people and sending people to jail. That's why Liberia is like this. You dirty. Yet you look at the other person and say the person is more dirty. And you portray yourself as clean. Now Jesus said, he who has not sinned, let him be the first to throw the stone. So he goes there, he said it was overzealousness by his staff. Listen to Justice Minister. Come on. That is not true. Given the gravity of such, the staff cannot develop a subpoena, then run to the court for the court to summon without you, the Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia. The legislature is not a petty body. You're talking about the first branch of government. How would they draw they will develop a subpoena against or onto the Senate, and you will not be in the know? They're not petty thing. They're not petty institution. They're not unknown body. You're talking about the legislature. You're talking about a segment of the legislature, the Senate. And you wouldn't be in a know? And those guys sat down there, they accepted it too, because, you know, they want to fend off everything and keep on hiding their mess. If I were there, the justice minister admitting such negligence will make sure that he goes to jail. It means that he does not have control, no oversight. Then why is he the justice minister? There's a same justice minister that was justifying everything about the court, majority block and minority block, Supreme Court ruling and interpreting. The justice minister sat down over there, trembling and afraid, and said, sorry, it was overzealousness. What? The justice minister say, "Yeah, sorry, sorry, I beg you." Trembling, afraid, fear gripping him. He said it was overzealousness by my staff. A Unity Party Justice Minister, Unity Party Attorney General. That's what he said. I am sorry for the overzealousness of my staff in filing subpoena to Criminal Court A against the Senate because I didn't sanction it. So he simply said that the people do things in his office, they don't regard him as justice minister. So they do things, they go. Okay, that's what it means. How can you be a justice minister that develops such a strong, weighty subpoena against the Senate? They're not mere institution, the Senate. And you will not be in the know. They're not petty thing that people can just do things in your office across justice minister, or whoever, because it does not have that gravity. It wouldn't attract attention. When this issue came out, you saw how it was in the media. Everywhere it was being analyzed. And people were excited. Vast majority of the media and the public excited to know exactly, to get an intro of that place. Why is it that this identical place, the boy want anything? The people the citizens should not know anything about that place. But whole day they say they're in the interest of the Liberian people, but they are the only ones who are getting rich and richer, while you are getting poor and poorer. Then they came out. In my opinion, it is belated. It is belated what the Senate came out with, quote unquote, concern about land grab, demolition. Belated. Sorry to say, not all, but I think the approach of the legislature wasn't timely, or the timing was not appropriate. They did not help. The damage has already been caused. A legislature is proactive as the executive. The executive is proactive as the judiciary. Everyone, the three branches of government safeguards the sanctity, goals of the protection, and everything the citizens, because everybody work in the interest of the people. We live in a world of technology. We ask the questions. We've seen, they're showing us parliaments around the world, how they take onto issues before it can even unfold. You have a legislature that will sit, the damage will have already been caused before they get in there and say they're raising concern. What would it have taken the legislature to come out, tell whatever the institution executively, you will put a stop to everything demolition around this country until we have a fair appraisal before. The legislature can put a halt if it is not going right by the executive. You can request the legislature to put the executive to put a halt. Like you have the man will come and say that my land here, you take it. The other woman will come and say she get 500 acres. The other Tajikistan man will come and say he get 180. Then the government, the executive, because the executive is the implementing arm, the executive executes. The legislature does not. The legislature enacts. The executive executes. The executive is the executing arm. The legislature will not take bulldozer. They will not instruct a bulldozer to go and break down. It comes from the executive. The executive gave the order. But they can call the executive to a check. They can bring the executive to order. Everybody, the three branches of government have that proactive nature. Why you think when we had the crisis of majority bloc and minority bloc, and people were calling average-minded people, educated people, semi-educated people, ordinary people, that the court has to move in and give an understanding. When the court will come to explain this, then the guys on the other side in the legislature, they say, no, the court cannot come in. The three separate but coordinate branches of government. The legislature is separate. The legislature, what were they pushing for? That the court will be proactive to bring the situation under control by interpreting. The same way the legislature has that responsibility. What are they doing now? If they don't have, why they sit down in a place there and say they're raising concern, they must summon the Minister of Mines and Energy, the head of Land Authority, Liberia National Police. What they should have done from the onset is what they're doing last, but the damage has already been caused. Those people have already taken the lands that they wanted. The demolition of all kinds have already taken place. Citing those people will make no difference whatsoever. No, it wouldn't make any difference. It will just be a legislative talk, a legislative tea shop, the normal political chicanery and shenanigans to give the public the impression, yeah, the Senate ready, the legislature ready. You don't depend on those people for anything. They're not in your interest. Nothing extra going to happen. Nothing absolutely going to happen. Those who have been affected, you have to find means, whichever way you can, with God above, your friends around you, your people around you, whoever can be of help to you to get your life going. But don't depend on anybody over there called senators or representatives. They will never help you. No, they will never help. They should have gone from the onset. So look what they say, that the summer Minister of Mines and Energy, Martino K. Tengbe, Police Director Gregory Coleman, Land Authority boss. Sorry, I can't get his name ready. Land Authority boss to go explain it. Land grabs, demolition. It's late. Those people have succeeded. And listen, if we are not careful, you know why an institution can take proactive stance, meaning they run ahead to put it under control so that it doesn't result into crisis. Liberia has a history of land crisis, but ours has not been like what we have seen in other African countries that led to several deaths. We have only made noise. It finished. We have the saying that this Unity Party man threatened to kill. He came up publicly that he would kill Chief Justice Francis Kokpo, Mark Jabate, who is in Yellow One Joseph Yima Bwaka government. And all of them were supporting it. That land dispute in Nimba County. He threatened to kill the Chief Justice. He came up publicly. Why did he say that? Because he was angry. They needed to protect their land. They felt that their lands were taken from them or were being taken from them. And the law was not doing anything. That the Chief Justice or the Supreme Court wasn't proactive to get in and bring the situation under control so that it doesn't escalate. that the same man, the people feeling the pinch of the land, went to insult them by saying he carrying bags of rice to them. The damage has already been caused. The people have taken the lands they want. If we are not careful, this country will slide into a land war. Those whose lands were taken, they have their legitimate deeds. Politics has brushed aside their legitimate deeds. Money have brushed aside their legitimate deeds. They are groaning in their hearts. They're living with that hurts and pains after laboring for years. Those people are not going to forget about it. They will not forget. When you see some building, the people feeling with everything, say everybody pressing it, suddenly they just kept fire, up burning. Somebody groaning in their heart, they went on the other side and said, let my land it take. The people here, they will never enjoy it. You know why we can be careful? God in heaven said, advise us. Try to get things honestly. God in heaven said can protect you. The people on earth, they will have no cause because enough for them. That's why people can be very careful to own it the right way. When you use money, power to take people things, it's just a matter of time. That was the main reason, no reason we went to war, that we call the 1990 war. But the way people inflicted pain, hurt, frustration on people, they kept it for years. Some of them were dying, they passed it on to their children and say, this person did this to me. This dying are dying so that the person that this, the boy child took it, kept it in his heart for years. When the war came, why do you think we have many child soldiers? We did not have many child soldiers because the children knew war prior to 1990. No. But stories were told. The elders told them stories. The elders explained names to them. And they kept it in their mind. Even though some of the children were drugged into becoming child soldier, some of them went involuntarily. But part of that young demographic that fought in the war, things that people told them, the parents told them, the man told them, the pa told them. That's why they were looking for people. Say, and are you the one? You want you tell my pa land that he suffered for. As security man, he saved all his money to buy that land. He never had money to pay horse the land. Yeah, and are you can you take it? You say that your land? We have to be careful. That's why that is the essence or one of the essences of the government, to be proactive, to avoid future crises, and not to sit there and just allow it in the name of development. What good is development when it turns to crisis? Then you don't have a clear plan for anything development. It is against this backdrop that I've just shared with you that former President George Weah was proactive. He was proactive. Former President George Weah put himself in the condition when he was president of the people. You know why? Because he struggled himself. He knew and still knows today what it means to strive, saving money for all those years to put your land down. Because land is property, land is internal property. You go on, your children have it. If that one girl child, that girl gets big, she marry, she live in that land. Even if she put something on the brother that coming, that the brother will take over because she going to her husband's house. So it will just be there for the family. Eternal. Former President George Weah, he knows the hurts and pains, what it is taking people land. Now, he wasn't lenient. He wasn't lenient. I'm going to something. He wasn't lenient. Former President Weah was not lenient. He wasn't a weak leader, and he is not a weak leader. But he is that leader of a human being. Meaning, the title is the title president, but the person in the title is a human being. And that person in that title, before becoming president, struggled. So he knows the condition, what it means, how a person feels, what it is to take a person land that they labor for, or they strive the best they can to put the one kitchen down, and then a bulldozer comes and destroys it, and then there is justification. That is why, listen, former President Weah, all of those things that you see, all of those things came out in the government. All of those things, people came, they say, oh, they learned for them. Yeah. You wouldn't have heard everything in the media. Everybody don't have the same style of leadership. Some people style of leadership, every now and then when they're talking about, they want it in the media. There are things that former President Weah settled at his Jamaica resort residence. There are things that he settled at the executive mansion. But it didn't go in the media because it was not for the media. There were times that people, he heard all of these things, he cited those people to a meeting, and they trashed out. Oh, you want to destroy this place? No problem. But please, we beg you. You know, just how Jesus would say, you want to do that one? No problem. I don't get problem with it. But let's try to reason out so that everybody is satisfied. One party, so that one party is not hurt, and then the other party is happy. Let's reason out. That's how leader goes. That's how George Weah has always been. That's how he led it. It was based on that these people now in power, when they're in opposition, they say, oh, he weak. He can't do that, he can't do that. Say, you hold on. Government for development, not true. We all want this country to be developed. That's why we sign up. But there's 1 year now. We ain't ready to do anything here. The government stays sourcing or looking for money. We don't get money. When we destroy the place, take all the people from here, where are they going? Where are they going at? What do they have as alternative? Since we ain't ready, let the people be there. Let me take you back to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. This policy, this Bwaka breakdown regime, that what Ellen was doing, most of the areas, Ellen government can, they say they're doing it, they break the people's houses down, carry, and they will not put anything there. It came at time, most of the places they break, it was defecation center. People will just go there and defecate. Sometimes the children will use it for football fee. It was there for years. Before you move in to break people's houses down, you must have giving it a careful consideration, meaning analysis, what you want to do there, when you want to do it, you source the funding. When you have the funding, then the last step is meeting with the people. When you say, we want to do this. This is the plan. This is how we're going to do it. This is when we want to start. However, we cannot do anything because you people are here. You people are our citizens. You people have your different conditions. So what we've decided, we'll give you 6 months so that you will find place. Not only that, we will look for some money and give it to you so you will find place to go. When you leave, then we will come now and take it. That's how it is done. That is strategy former president we are using here. Say you're leading people. We're ready now. When we get ready, we move there. We have to look for money and compensate them. We have to give them time to relocate because they are human beings. If you just move in and start breaking down, you know what you're doing? People might just die on the spot. And when they die, you kill them. He understood the people's condition. That's leadership. But they will tell you, say, oh, we are not have leadership. That's leadership. You know, when you show leadership, leadership is best shown in crisis. Leadership is not shown when everything is okay. No. No. Every great leadership is shown, is demonstrated in crisis. How to get out, how to deal with the people, how to bring the people out. Look at it. Look at it. All of those guys, look at them. All of those great men and women, those leaders, they had to show leadership in crisis. People don't term you as a leader when everything is on a silver platter. No, because it's on a silver platter. You're confronted with nothing. They look at you and say, this person is a leader when you are faced with a crisis and there is the curiosity of how you're going to handle that matter. Former president, we have stopped demolition, government, demolition by government and other people. The government had every reason to move in. But there was this leadership thought. If we destroy all these people's homes and we don't have the money, we can source the money to put what we want to put here. What becomes of the people? What becomes of our reputation? Let's wait. There's nothing to rush. Development is not a rush thing. So you see, I am telling you this to bring you what I term unity party surrogate honest admittance and confession. I said surrogate. Surrogate is a person who puts himself or herself at the disposal of another person to be used without reasoning, without using a common sense. A surrogate is also a stooge. A stooge is that person that puts himself to be told to and fro. It's not a good word. But the surrogate gave an honest admittance. They have seen, this unity party surrogate have now seen that truly, yes, we were condemning this man for nothing. The same man confessed that everything they said about the 3 missing boys, the 3 auditors were all planned by Unity Party. And they executed it. Confessing now that former President George Weah is better than Joseph Yema Boakai. We don't want that. All we know, you don't have to tell us that George Weah is better. Everybody knows that George Weah is better. Everybody knows that George Weah is good. If George Weah was that kind of president in Joseph Yema Boakai, forget it. What Joseph Yema Boakai doing is small. But he has second thought to every decision making. You listen. I said Unity Party surrogate. Unity Party surrogate. I'm not praising him. No, he is irrelevant. But what he said is no different, but what we have always said, what everybody knows of George Weah. He's only confirming how divisive, devilish, satanic the person he supported against George Weah. He's now saying that, oh yes, had we known, we would not have gone or treaded the route we treaded against George Weah. And as I have always said, I like the position of George Weah. All of these things, you don't hear him talking. You don't hear him saying anything. When you have done something good, your record will speak for you. You don't have to go around justifying anything. Former President Weah is far mature. Listen, as far as I know of politicians, given my observation over the years in this country, former President George Weah is the most mature of all politicians. He is the most mature. All the way they try dragging him into things, he has no time for them. He doesn't go about bragging of his leadership, what he did. No. He does not go into confrontation with anybody, no political confrontation whatsoever. As far as he's concerned, he did what he needed to have done for his people. Though time was not in his favor to do as many as he had wanted to do, but he did unprecedented. His works speak for themselves. That's why you see, we are talking here and there. No, that people now, they explain it. And here is the confession. It said we are better than Joe Boakai. Let's listen to the surrogate, United Party surrogate.
On George Weah, people are living in alleyway. You remember? George Weah didn't break their homes down. Not like this. The Lord has said they were breaking.
Yeah. All of them. They know. They saw it. They knew. But they were using the same thing. They were using President Weah reasoning. Once I say reasoning, because he saw reason. Not that he could not move in. Not that he could not give the instruction as Boakai gave him. He could have. But the president, the title is the presidency. That title, there is human being inside. Human being inside. The human being went through struggles to know exactly what it is to have a zinc shot and no time to break it down. He will put himself in that person or people's shoe and say, what if it was me? That's what I mean, reason. He reasoned. God said, come, let's reason together. You hear him?
On George Weah, people are living in alleyway. You remember? George Weah didn't break their homes down.
He could have done it. But he showed every humanness. It's not the power. It's not how pompous you are in the presidency. It's not how brag and boast you come out that you are regarded as president. It is how you treat your people. There are certain decisions you, the president, will have to swallow the bitter pill. Say, you'll leave it. We handle it. Those people stood on the line for hours, rain, dew. We cannot treat them like this as much as we want development. We have to take time to do it.
People are living in alleyway. You remember? George Weah didn't break their homes down. On George Weah, people are living in alleyway. You remember? George Weah didn't break their homes down. On George Weah, people are living in alleyway. You remember? George Weah didn't break their homes down. Not like this. The Lord has said they will break the people home down. The Lord didn't say anything there because you were looking for the people vote. But here comes Joseph Yima Boakai. They don't say break it down. Just see government, no empathy. So Joseph Yima Boakai say he came to clean house. But the people house you can't clean, Mr. President, that the people that put you there. You're making them homeless, you're making them jobless, you're creating avenue for you and only your people, and the poor people that put you there, you kick them out on the street. Does that make sense? My fellow Liberian, the only people that will say it makes sense, that people that oversee and living a better life. The only people that will say it makes sense that they don't that get a senator job and get people that marry them. 2020, 2023, 2022, 6 years on job management. No. Nobody talk about alleyway because they don't need people that marry them. 2020, 2023, 2022, 6 years on job management. No. Nobody talk about alleyway because they don't need it to be senator. Unity Party needed to come back to government. Nobody talk about LTMR. No. You know how many people are homeless today? You know how much money you're sending back home because the people are homeless? Now they're about to lose their jobs. Who getting the jobs? Whose salary they increasing every day? Who making fat salary and brand new cars they are driving? These are our problems. And you are talking, say you coming back? Unity Party will win 2029? How? Who gonna vote for them? How? The yellow machine will bring you back? When the people ain't got nowhere to sleep, the yellow machine will sleep in? If somebody tell me, how would this happen? You'll keep the yellow machine for 2027, then you'll put it on the road. How would that? But I want to do it. We'll keep it for 2027 and they put it on the road. But how would this happen, my people? Let's talk straight talk now. Let's be fair. How would this happen? Can you imagine? Joe spotted it. He said, you don't do it. The people remove him. And Joseph Boakai said, go and create a new land. Imagine. Joe spotted it. He said, you don't do it. The people remove him. And Joseph Boakai said, go and create a new land. Imagine. Joe spotted it. He said, you don't do it. The people remove him. And Joseph Boakai said, go and create a new land. So you kick them out. Then they don't kill and double down on it. They don't say, you're taking all of the other way. Rescue. But in 2029, you will go beyond those people and ask them to vote for you. You will be on the campaign trail and say, we fought for you. But the people will say, hey, we are sleeping on the street. We are displaying in our own home, in our own country. We are refugees. You fired me from Ministry of Transport. You gave my job to LTMR.
You ain't feel it yet. You ain't feel more confession, many confessions coming out. Many confessions. It is not how you brag, rant in the presidency. We have to develop this country. We develop this country. When people hear you saying it that way, as much as, yes, as a president, as a leader, you can say, you can unfold. But you want to be very cautious how you say it, so that certain people or bad people will not take advantage of you. Because they see irrational obsession for development, irrational obsession for development. So they bullying. This is what we call bullying. All the things that you see, that bully. The bullying the presidency, the bullying the executive. Because the execution comes from the executive. The court is within the perimeter of the executive. The president appoints the judge. And now the president can appoint all the legal people there. He can appoint lawyers. Lawyers then go to school, they go through the requirement, they in court and out of court. But the judges, he can appoint. The court is within the executive perimeter. So they're executing. You think former President Weah could not use the court as justification? All of these things that you see happening, they came out Weah's time, except you are not here Weah's time or you are not following the developments. They came. They came. Nobody should tell you land issue did not come out in Weah's time. No, then you are not here. These things came out. You know why? People waited. And part of the people, let me tell you, part of the people that supported Joseph Boakai at all costs with the little finances say, let's do everything we can to get the obstacle off our way. George Weah is the obstacle. Joseph Boakai will support you whichever way. And you see George Weah out of the way. What do you see happening with ease and confidence? People taking what they wanted or what they want. Something. They try in Weah's administration. The government will step in. It will reach the president will invite that person and say, oh, my man, you say they land here from XYZ for you. No problem. Let's reason it out. Please bring all of your documents. The people say we are now hard leadership, or could not reason independently. But very many of the decisions we will decide from his independent thought. Not everything he rely on the advisors. Even when the advisors gave the pieces of advice, he will use his independent reasoning. And you say they want for you, no problem. So please, just bring all of your documents. They'll look at it for you. I will ask instruct the police director, the justice minister to make sure that you get your land. Just bring all of your documents. Some of them went, they never came back. Former President George, we are here. You're asking. If you people have the time, I hope that you have gathering one day and just read some of the things you hear. Say, oh, so that how the thing been, so that how government looking. All of these things happen. Most of these people, listen to some of that. They went, say, let's sit down. He is the obstacle. We'll make sure we get him from there. Anybody that is doing right in life, the other people who are shortcutted, that means they want to do things shortcut way. They see that person as an obstacle. Even in life, when you are principle-minded, the fact that they want to do things don't care way, they portray you as the obstacle, as the bad man to progress. They gang up against some of these people. They supported, they gave Burger money. You see the people relax. Today, a man confessing say we are not let out. We are fair for the people. We are empathize with the people. And that's what you need as a leader. You have to firstly, you take into consideration the welfare of your people. Then you look at the other factors. The Senate say they're raising concern. Then the other man go and sit down. He say, you will not vote. Anything that has to do with land, this, land, die, you will never vote. That one, that's charade. That's charade. Again, let me tell you, as we go to the lines, nobody should depend on anybody called senator or representative or any place called legislature. The damage has already been done. The people secure what they wanted. They get a land, they finish destroying. People's lives are shattered. People just confused. They don't know how to go about. It would take some of these people 2 to 3 years to really settle down. It would take some of them 6 to 7, 1 year, 6 months, 8 months, 1 year to settle down. Yeah. That's why the government has to be proactive. When this person comes, yeah, no problem. But Chivo, let's sit down and discuss the thing good, because how the welfare of our people come first. What kind of government will not protect its citizens? It will not show concern for its citizens. Even if the citizen is living in the dumper, the government has to protect that citizen, show concern. If that citizen is living in Soniwen water, the government is under obligation. What you think when somebody died, nobody showing up to claim ownership of the body? Who can claim ownership? That the government. And the government do whatever the burial or so. If nobody shows up, you have to think about your citizens. Today, the same recklessness. You get all kinds of people coming into the country whichever way. I just hope that nothing happened to our country one day of a terrorist act, because everything just vulnerable in this country. Too bad of. All right, man. So let's go. Let's read few of the comments, and then we can move on. Let's go to few of the comments. Let's see who all have written. Michael M. Ma. Say, what makes cheer? I don't understand you. You're sending a parable across. Okay, let me just read it so the people who know, who have understanding of interpreting parable. He said, what makes Che, I know Che or Che afraid is because his castle falls. Oh, okay. Emmanuel Bro, I am told that another person is claiming that he owns the land space spanning from Vamoma House in Sinka to the EJS Ministerial Complex in Congo Town. Yeah, one day somebody will come and say they own Liberia. Don't be surprised. On the Justice Minister appearance, Emmanuel Bro writes, Justice Minister Councillor Oswald Tue exhibited a cowardly attitude at the Liberian Senate simply because he was afraid to be sent to jail. In my view, he could have stood his ground by admitting that his office actually took that legal action against the Senate. Yes, that's true. That's what he needed to have done. They wouldn't have done anything to him. Matthew Choloplay, this useless worker government is making Liberian people homeless under the pretense of development. Josephus Manning writes, 2030 CDC will make sure all those who lost their land and their job will get it back. Early, yeah. How do you know? That grammatical error there. That grammatical error. No, when you're writing, you got to be careful, especially going out to the public. So one person can say Tenji, another person say Tengbe. They're two different persons. All right. So let's go to the line. You want to please cut your radio off or lower it to the lowest before you call. Moreover, you go straight to the point. Go straight to the point. Tell it. Don't come. Some of you will listen to something this morning. It was not right. Don't come. If you want anybody, you want kill anybody, don't say a year that will kill the person. You want do your Facebook thing and carry it there. Somebody said this morning it was not right. When you say you want to kill somebody, you want to do your own thing. Don't say it on King's FM. Don't say we kill the person where no. Don't say. Let me inject this. Let me inject it. This morning, you people, when Israel was talking about that transport ministry, something, yeah, let me inject this. I know that you are feeling sorry for the people. Yes, I listened to that thing yesterday. I saw the woman were around there. I saw her lambasting. Yeah, but what's the question the journalist asked her? I think the journalist asked her, like, you seem to be a supporter of this government. And she said, yes, she was excited when the journalist asked that question. Yes, Joseph Yeman Boakai is my beloved president. I like him. I voted for him. Then after that, she started swearing and saying all kinds of things. I was enjoying you people this body or Israel show. So I just said to myself, I think one or two ladies and I think two female voices I heard, they were taking exception to her, or they took exception. And I said, yes, that's true. That's true. You're right. That woman, let me say before I go to the line, that woman, I think those two female, I think it was Man Sisi or somebody that disagree that, oh yeah, whatever happens, you might separate our unity power. Truly, they ask, maybe that part, the Israel played that part. The guy when she was talking, then the journalist said, he said, you must be a supporter of this government. Oh, that one still excitedly. Yes, yes. Joe Bwaka, President Bwaka is my lovely president. I voted for him. Well, after saying all that one, and then she started swearing. So, how can a president be your lovely president? Then you swear in. My big young man, you control your frustration. Yeah, you can manage frustration. What she was trying to do is what we call managing frustration. You acting like it's not hurting you, but it's hurting you. And you don't want to be overly expressive of it or to put it job worker frustrated you, madam. Yeah, we don't wish evil for people, but you just sounded like a comedian on that day. You sounded, if you knew yourself, madam, you would not have stood over there to brag and run. You, madam. If Joseph Boakai, your president, as you said, you voted for him, he's your lovely president, then you accept the sacrifice that he's making. Live with the hurt and pain and say this thing will get better with time. Why are you protesting? Then you swearing in there. Hey, man, I think that man is swear that thing there. They get something they call reverse curse. When you swearing a person, that curse will go back to you. Most of the people, let me tell you, don't do that. Even if you vex, don't say certain things. That's why they say when you vex, don't say certain things when you vex. The same way they say, don't make decision when you vex. Take your time, restrain yourself. When everything is over, then you start reasoning. Then you know what to say. That woman, he said, you must be a supporter of the government. That the journalist telling her now or asking the question that way. You must be a supporter of this government. Yes, Joseph Yema Baka, Mr. President.
the National Identification Registry.
But that is
Since
not on my, it wasn't on my list,
place,
Chief.
it has been closed. And we don't believe that the president closed that place for it to be perpetually closed. And so we also want to crave the indulgence of the president to see reason in opening, the enrollment process at the level of the NIR. Because now you can get a job in this country without getting that particular instrument, which is the citizen ID card. So we're appealing to the president to see reason in reopening it, and we believe strongly that with the leadership there that has been working, they are going to ably handle that. Thank you very much.
All right, Kiseli Basa, let's go. Hello.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Andrew, I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I call from Apropo Corner, down Coast Spoon Hill, Winter Community. Mr. Andrew, thank you very much. I think in my mind, you discussed about 3 pointers, but my attention has been drawn to the one that has to do with the OPIC conference of Central Waterspoon, the Code of Oath, the biggest propagandist for Unity Party in the 2023 election. So, Andrew, this is just the beginning of the many confessions that we are going to see in the coming days. Today, I saw for Charles Yates, one of the biggest propagandists, trying to remind the president about what they did in 2023. These are the beginning of the confession. Mr. Andrew, mark this day today as I'm telling you. Before 2029, we will know the head behind the murder of these 4 auditors of Broad Street. We will know before 2029. We will know who are responsible for the death of these people before 2029. In my mind, those United guys did it in yesterday to blackmail President Weah. That's why today, Gifty Ladman husband sits as the special superintendent for most of Colorado County, and since he had not made any attempt to know who killed his wife. Before 2029, we will know who did this thing. This is the beginning. Look, Mr. Andrew, the issue of the demonization. To somebody yesterday, I say, all of us who came to Monrovia in the 2000, Mr. Andrew, none of us are safe because Monrovia started developing right after the war. And most of us came to Monrovia right after the war. That's where we started putting ASB and our little Shisha on the ground. So it means all of us that live in Monrovia here, we are not safe. And the land issue is a trap enough for rat alone. All of us need to stand up and hold this thing and tell Mr. Boakai to do what is right. Other than that, don't be surprised if come over for them and we'll be on our way in Nigeria. Thank you very much for always giving us the opportunity to make our voice on national issues. Thank you.
All right, let's go to the women's line, or you went off. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sanju.
Good afternoon.
Sanju, let me tell you, I'm a brother. What you're driving now. Sanju, we're not careful. They learn business. It's all committee. They say they're looking at it. They're crowded. We're not careful. They'll be all racing in the country. I can show you. But we're not careful because of committee. You will go ahead. They will not take it. That they are learned about it. 1 or more year, then you can take it. Somebody, go to fire. When the chief prosecutor give you money, they get empty. They say they left for you for your part. And you break the person house when they say year they pay. But we not take time. It will be all right in the country that the next second civil war that will come for the land business. Me tell you, because the Liberian people not spend a year, but I can rescue the people in the humble. But we are came because you know what you came. That while the son the player the same no Ellie break the plate down when they saw their son they went to him. And the people went to the plate down because they knew that they are looking for. And you know that to see
your line cracking, madam. Change your location.
So never all of us I said no.
Oh, your line is not conducive. Hello.
Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon.
Yes. I'm tonight, I'm calling from Mama Point. Sam, I've been one of the veterans of the land issue.
They took your land?
You know?
They took your land? Somebody took your land?
Yeah, I said before you can buy the land from.
Somebody took your land?
They took my land.
When?
I paid for the place 2015. And I was sick. I was not able to construct anything over there. but appropriated the deed to the ACA through one Charlotte Basin. At the end of the day, when I went back, he took the land and gave it to another people. Then I said, but then say it's like this, how are we going to do it? Then they said they want to relocate me. I paid for half that, and they want to give me quarter. I said, I don't want a quarter for the half that I pay for. You understand? So the land dealer and said, yeah, okay, people. So that they meet people and say in the whole land issue that is put in the conscience because they are the wicked people in our society. You can't sell the place to the person here down the end of the day, you take it, go to another person and everything. So to pass through them is easy. It's very easy. But somebody will just come from America or 500,000 and say, oh, you, I'll pay the 1 year. Then at the end of the day, then they will go the back the
All right, madam. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
This is JT to calling for Kawa. I wish that lady who was saying that yes, she supported the president. I wish you call back in studio to interview for like 30 minutes. But I said that she just thought that it was money they wanted to get out. She said yes, that my lovely president. I believe that she used that statement, but I wish the journalist call in studio to really interview her. That poor girl stand.
Thank you. Hello.
My G-Spanner, how you doing?
Yeah, great, great. And you?
Thank you. Lord, God, my brother. Well, yes.
That you don't want to say that you say the money, the woman is sweet for the woman, a good for more Joseph Parker, that supporter. But I can listen to the show. You know the time I'm going to be? I'm going to be where ABC, I see you are going at the end of the show that time. In the morning, I can be listening to Israel from my home all the way where I reach here. So I'll listen to your mother and say, Jesus, father, now him on a woman.
I tell you, you were down, man. Not for the people. You brought a good podcast where you got someone again. Don't say, Andrew, thank you for the show, Papa. What did you do with it? Joe Baka taking down the transport ministry to another place. For me, I said, I'm going to run Baka. You know where I'm coming from?
No.
Run Baka, in a sense that to you myself, you talk for 6 years. That time you were on Capital FM, plus I calling. I said, the first time with my boss on Capital FM.
Yeah, that's
when
true.
You were there.
That's true.
And I all of myself, we battle. She call. Somebody was no, don't come my sister. So, remember that time? We saw the people that are not selling mayor breaking. It's dangerous. If the men lie and say, I'm living on loan. So, here you see myself an opportunity. I left mayor breaking. I left my business and 1 year plus. I can pay for we are. Speaking goer, speaking crew, speaking class, speaking because of we are. I was saying the good thing of we are, what we are doing in the country. But they said no, we'll choose the lies over the truth. And we'll go via Waka. And Waka make it clear. Same I do. The one say you're wrong, Waka. Waka doing the right thing. When you want to eat, they get cheese and the cheese will eat out today.
Yeah.
Same I do.
That's true.
We eat the cheese now. We eat the cheese. They make sure you play court. They say, well, we have 2 questions. We are talking about when they fight, when we come, all of them, we need them. We'll drop all of them down. They say yes and agree. They want to try. They can't really drive you. You already get a job, the man say, I will tell you for they say, yeah, when you come move, we agree, we'll take care of you. What they want to bring Waka? I don't want to man say, Andrew. I want to support me to support Waka. What are you doing? And let's see what you're doing. And you want to support me. You leave Waka, you run the man on the mobile and support Waka 100%. Support Waka.
Beloved, my beloved president, listen to you. She will get Jadoshi Veo. You know my beloved president. Yeah, the way you laugh at the morning. That one, G-Spanner, that one, yeah, he played the question part. Yeah, what? She said, the journalist asked her. The journalist said, but you sounding like a supporter of the government. She said, yes, my lovely president. I voted for Joseph Yumapwaga. I will always vote for him.
Don't cry, you love your president. Oh, they see fight out here. Don't cry, you want because when you supported what you wanted change. They want to bring the message and show us generation will die. But you look for it, you get it. The change shows say, why you can leave them there? They say, breaking change. You wanted to change, as reality is so big. I want to hope what I'm going to show you play for you, I have for you. You say, yes, I agree. Just even when you be in a person will bring everybody say, it will come to you. All I want for a do again, NASA. NASA, playing NASA, all I want you go ahead. The other one, the one that said, send it. No embarrassment for what we send it. Very embarrassment. Embarrassment. Nothing else to happen. They started with a finger. And were laughing. But they keep our party headquarters. They see more satisfaction. You say people that move on there. They can't say, you say, my lovely president.
All right, just pardon.
You're wrong, Waka, man. You're wrong, Waka. You're saying sorry. All I want, you're wrong. I want you to jump.
Now, that yellow one, oh, they call it, man, yellow one.
Okay, yellow one, okay. All right, thank you, get out of me.
Yellow one. I'll see you.
Thank you.
Right. Hello. You went off, madam. Hello.
Salut.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Yeah, ma'am, let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm going to work out there morning. So that's why I say, well, it was super, not super. What I say? The foreigner coming, I said, no. Hello?
Yeah, listening.
Okay. You are telling you say our map for you. We don't stay for the map for the poor people. President that United States for the poor in the bush care our people. Now, he will see the map for you. Yeah, you're telling us, you're saying, Baka. Baka begin the Congo people. Baka are foreigner. The way you find for, then find the man. You find the man, I may find that who is fine, I may is fine. Yeah, we are. What is the name of who started yet to say, you're not here? Yeah, we they swear somebody. So thank you. The never ready. It's our my I was sorry for our people who are money poor who was taking for.
All right, man, Bessie, have a nice day. Hello. Hello?
Yes, good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, thank you, sir. This is Wilson. And I join you from Central Time. Then I'm in a text serving the show with you. Then I guess that you have done the sufficient evidence as it relates to the different happenings in the governance system of our country. What I can state on the record, this country will never reverse. The path we are on, it is progressive. So this is why we are encouraging all Nigerians, regardless of our political differences and alignment, we ought to support national initiatives. Who told you there are now things that are going wrong in the different sectors? Who told you everything is roses? No. There are challenges everywhere. Every part of the country there are challenges. But the little effort,
What's in you talking to your yellow machine carry your money? You went off. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Corano Wama. I'm calling from Red Eye. Thank you very much for the program. You know, in Liberia, in all water in Liberia. The president was who left in the first to go for the president. We know he will have if the president comes, he will lead us. Thank you very much.
Hello.
And I told you I'm not sharing this is what the network is challenging. So you don't think I will not go out of credit on this and I cannot come.
You always not having enough money in your phone.
No, I slip out.
You are a Unity Party broker.
No issue. So,
You laugh.
moving forward. Anyway,
you managing your unit.
No issue. You know, we understand this last story. We can manage our $1 for the week. Yeah, so moving on. Anyway, you know, it's good to have those different exchanges. That's why I told my friend, sometimes we agree to radio, disagree on different national issues. It doesn't mean that we are enemies, right? We that support the government or the agenda of the government, we know there are times we disagree. Oh my.
Yeah, the man gone off again. The man put small money it rub on Hussein. That easy. When you put 10 minutes inside, then you can raise morale. We that supporting the government, we that supporting. You not see opposition, people go off, their unit finish. When the man put 10 minutes inside, then you can raise morale. And 10 minutes going to go. By the time you say hello, it go. You know the party will say. The man 10 minutes gone. My man go call him the mini ball. Call the mini ball, put 10 minutes inside Hussein. So you call by, yeah? Yeah. Put 10 minutes inside the beginning around. He say you enter zone. Yeah, the beginning around. The feeling around that zone. So call them. You put 10 minutes inside. Then you call, yeah? Okay. Where is my guy? Let's have a break. Let's have this short break, and then we can move on. You know, a short break. Just a very short break. Then that we'll be doing it for today. This is it. The message.
2 leaders walking different lives. One leads with love, the other spite. George and Joseph both can stand so clear. One brings hope, one brings fear. Joe's way he rules with gentle hands, lifts the weak and understands. Every soul gets equal chance. Compassion flows in his advance. When the people need him near, he steps down to dry their tears. Plays with kids and helps the old. His warm heart can't be sold. Oh, Joe's where leaves with love so true. Every day his care shines through, while the other spreads the pain. Joseph Boker brings the storm and rain. Joseph Boker brings the storm and rain. Joseph Boker rules with hate and lies, laughs as hungry children cry, treats his people like they're dirt, leaves them bleeding, leaves them hurt. When the nation needs his aid, he just watches while it falls, mocks their pain with cruel delight, devil dressed in leader's might. Oh, Joe's where leads with love so true. Every day his care shines through, while the other spreads the pain. Joseph Boker brings the storm and rain.
Joseph Walker bring the storm and rain. You got bye-bye in their song. This is a political song. Joseph Walker bring the storm and rain. All right, Kel, just a few minutes, man. Let's go home. Thank you for the time. Yes. Today is Wednesday. Catch us tomorrow. Today is Wednesday, the 4th day of March. We're gradually going to the end. Gradually. By next week, we'll be ending March. Then we're in April. And then May. Then June. Then July. Then August. Then 2026 over. 2027 in. Yeah. Our guys, man, they ain't got much time. Oh. No. They don't have much time. Listen, nothing extra. We told you people, we're just looking at the time. That's the time. We're calculating. We're following the political clock. But 2029 far, 2029 far, that is a lie. 2029 no far. 2029 right here. By the end or the middle of this month, the middle of this year, you hear different thing. Or you start hearing from the National Elections Commission. And five, just take it at 3 years. The government gone 3 years, and they know they don't have much time in their favor again. They can't do anything extra. No. The president said tire. Boga tire. Boga tire. Boga wants to rest. He tired. You can see it. You can see the fatigue in Boga. A man tired. Yellow one tired. They just presenting him like he's active. No, but man tired. You can see. Man tired. Can't do much. All right. So let's go home now. Let's go home on a sporting note. Yeah. Let's go on a sporting note. All the Real Madrid fans, Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool, all those who went to cheer Atletico yesterday. But firstly, let me say my team did play. We went out, but it was like we won the cup. First time to see Barcelona fans. Not everywhere, because I'm not almighty to be everywhere, but in our area. See a Barcelona fans excited, motivated, joyful, like we took the cup, because the way the team play. And honestly, I cannot tell you the last time, what year I saw Barcelona play that way from start to finish, non-stop, no fatigue whatsoever. Everybody on top of their game in their individual role on the field. The first time to see Barcelona play that way. And after the game, after the excitement, the voking, as we say in Liberian term, voking, meaning Madrid fans, Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, saying all kinds of things to us. You kick out, you eat dry, right? After all of those, I kept asking myself whether Barcelona would play like that the remaining games and the Champions League. Will we see that same version of Barcelona we saw last night? The first time since the departure of Pep Guardiola, then came the late Tito Villanova. The first time to see Barcelona honor those two coaches, people felt Barcelona was using medicine. They used to complain. Say, oh, the people using medicine, Messi then using medicine. What kind of team here? The people, they can't show any fatigue. You score 4 goals and the people, they score 5. You score 6, they score 8. That game yesterday, Barcelona really played. Yeah, could see the hunger. So we were excited and stay excited, motivated, spirited of how our team play, FC Barcelona, the world's greatest team. Yeah. We are headed into the next game on Saturday at 8 p.m. Liberian time. We lost yesterday game from the first leg. Had we scored, if we were not negligible, we would have advanced to the final yesterday. But our negligence led us or escorted us out of the tournament or the final. And the coach learned sense from it. Games with aggregate, you don't overlook it. Games with aggregate, you don't overlook it. You can. It is always good to take advantage of the first leg. Any aggregate game. Aggregate game or games are games that when the men score 2 or 3 in your home, you will be looking for 4 or 5 because of the away advantage. Had we scored at most 1 or 2, we would have had the advantage, given what we did last night. So Atletico Madrid will have gone out. Atletico Madrid stay on and gone to the final because of that goal. They scored 4, and we could not get 4 to take us into penalty. Had we scored the 4th goal, we would have gone into penalty. No extra time. They changed the rule. Kings Cup, no extra time. Whatever the level score, you'll go straight into penalty to decide the winner. Because extra time produce more fatigue. 90 minutes long, then extra 90 minutes, they realize that it wears out most of the players. So you go straight into penalty. We could not. But the team play. Yeah, all Barcelona fans, you'll be proud of the team and keep on supporting the team. The team did play. Barcelona was masterclass, extra on the night. Even our haters, Barcelona haters, were enjoying Barcelona play. And here is it. Had it been Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid were beating Madrid to about 3 or 4. Madrid would not have made that comeback. And let me explain it, because when I did a Facebook post about our team coming back, they say, why should I say comeback? Barcelona did not come back. That was not a comeback. I soon realized that most people don't know what a comeback is. So this is what I wrote immediately after the game. I said, FC Barcelona, our performance tonight, joy overflows me. Convinced we are racing to the finish line, and then followed by that one. So all Madrid haters now, they gang up against me. They say, why should I say comeback? Barcelona did not have any comeback whatsoever. So my understanding is they no comeback to mean when you advance. So because Barcelona did not advance to the final, so they say Barcelona did not come back. Why should I say come back? So here is the education. A comeback is coming down from nothing or a higher number to go up. That's what a comeback is. probably they understood it from a political standpoint. Like CDC is coming back. CDC re-ascendancy or re-election is a political comeback. Equally, it goes with the number. If CDC does not have the number, they won't win. If Unity Party does not have the number, they won't win. Whoever has the highest number wins. And then they advance. But Unity Party is not fighting for a comeback. CDC is fighting for a comeback because CDC was there and they're down. So they're fighting to get up. In football, a comeback is when you are down by 2 or 3 or 2-1, and then you equalize and add. That's what a comeback is. Barcelona was defeated 4-0. 4-0. Yesterday, last night, they defeated Atletico Madrid 3-0. That was a comeback from a 4-0 defeat to avoid back-to-back defeat with a 3-0 victory. That is comeback in football. So I was wondering how people in this country can reason. What Barcelona did not achieve is advancing toward the final. But Barcelona did the comeback, meaning they avoided a second defeat at the hands of Atletico Madrid by beating Atletico Madrid, overcoming from a 4-0 to 3-0. Atletico Madrid did not win. It was Barcelona that won. But Barcelona could not advance to the final because Atletico Madrid was ahead of Barcelona by 1 goal. And that 1 goal carried Atletico Madrid into the final. Had Barcelona scored that 1 goal, it would have been level and they would have gone into penalty. If Barcelona had won the penalty, they would have gone to the final. So Barcelona did not advance to the final, but Barcelona did come back from 4-0 down. So you know, the people who say Barcelona was not a comeback, it was a comeback here. Have you not heard commentators, the British commentators, because those are the ones that we listen to often. Have you not heard a British commentator say something like this? What a massive comeback from 3-1 down to win 4-2. Have you not heard a British commentator saying that? Those people, they are highly educated. They know what a comeback is. When you are down and then you strive to come up, it is a comeback. When you are down, it's just like normally in life, naturally, you're down. You won't give up. And people say, don't give up, and you're striving. And then you rise up. That is a comeback. So that's it. We accept our fate. And I should confess, as I said yesterday, that I was not too sure that we're going to beat Atletico Madrid. And the reason I gave, because they will have scored. Either way, they will have scored. Yeah, they will have scored, and it will have been very hard for us. And that's what they wanted to do. So the coach approached the game with a defensive system, 5-4-1, meaning 5 persons in the defense, 4 persons in the midfield, and 1 person on top to just look for loose ball, launch counter attack. That's what they were doing. And they almost came close. I can say not almost, but they came close. That system, it did work at a certain point in time, but Barcelona was vigilant. It did work. They had how they call the guy, yeah, right in front of the goal. Luckily for us, he bought it outside. Had that ball gone straight, our goalkeeper was far from it. It would have rested in the net. Then instead of looking for 4. We're going to be looking for 6. Hey, golly, Lebia, it's talking away that fair. Yeah. But I say, yeah, what our captain said, Rano Arojo, he said, if we continue to play like this, we will win the Champions League and La Liga. And we need to keep that rhythm. We need to keep that rhythm. We must single out the team play. The team play as a team. We are excited. But in every sphere of life, in every situation, you will have someone who will be the standout person or persons. Last night, no, Pedri is Barcelona and Barcelona is Pedri. We can see why our team, in the absence of Pedri, no, that boy is his vision is extraordinary. His confidence is beyond description. He controlled that midfield for Barcelona. In the absence of De Jong, he took control of that midfield with his junior brother, Mark Banner, who scored the 2 goals. Small ball. For that game, not really of his caliber. Control. Pedri. When I begin in Baga game, I can worry. Yeah. And let me get the history, then we'll go. Madrid fought half for that picking. In life, when something for you. You know, according to Ian Beligay is an Argentine journalist that report on Spanish football. He's been reporting for pretty close to 30 years. And the interview he gave, the question was asked about certain Spanish players, South American players, and all the things. It was a general interview. And they asking about how Pedri from another side has gelled into Barcelona system. He's the this, that, and that, the linchpin. And he said in a very short version, he said Barcelona is lucky to have Pedri, that Real Madrid fought the best they can to get him. But the player himself, mind was made up for Barcelona. Had Madrid gotten him, their team would have been a different version as compared to what Barcelona is now or the Mayfield. Since that, I think almost 4 or 5 months of not forgetting, I think I'm going to forget. That begin, Pedri, truly, as small as he is, just how Iniesta was looking on the pitch. That's how that begin looking. Small, but the vision, the same way Iniesta had that vision for the game. That begin did well for us last night. He did well. He did well. It came a time he was feeling pain. If you people follow the game closely, the coach was even telling him they wanted to substitute him, but he said no, he will make it. He was feeling pain. But he felt that he needed to give everything. Just as the Hebrews would say, very muchness, give everything. And then the next person, Cancelo did extremely well from that side. Extremely well. He contributed to 2 of the goals. Then, don't ask about the doctor himself, Lamine Yamal. Real Madrid man is there all the beginning play nothing. I don't want man to play. He took the game to Atletico Madrid players. He took the game. Jaha Messi used to take it to him. No player on the field was being marked by 2, 3 persons. Then Lamine. Every time he received the ball, 2, 3, 4 will go there because they know him. And he did extremely well. We have scoreboard. We had the referee too, man. Anyway, we can put it on the referee because we messed up from the first leg. I see her. Yeah, we can put it on the referee. But he had some fault. But he did extremely well, man. The referee did extremely well. Yeah. There were fouls that were committed, all kind of funny play. He just avoided giving card. He gave card when it was necessary. He was very professional on the night. Yes. Let him not lambast the referee. He was very, very. He kept the tempo of the game intact. It was all right. Yes. We hope to see that kind of refereeing. Yeah. It's not everything. Somebody just fall down like Vinicius Junior and you get car. Kylian Mbappe fall down, you get car. And all men, they're voting us. Do you know, your Real Madrid fans? Let me give you all this information as we go. Real Madrid has 11 players out. 11 players out for a longer period. 11 players. And you'll have a very tough game on Friday evening, 8 p.m. Celta Vigo. If you win Celta Vigo, then you're lucky. 11. The only person you have standing in your defense, the San, you can call him San, Rudiger. The only person, your attack power for Gala is depleted. So, your Leo will go. You're voting Barcelona and say, we can't with each driver. Yeah, we can't with each driver, no problem. But we're going up small. And at 4 points now, it will go to 7 points on Friday. You'll be there, you're nothing about your soul. That Barcelona you're on, you can't with each driver. Our team intact. Our team intact. 11 players from Real Madrid. 11. Kylian Mbappe coming back just now, according to what Real Madrid said. Real Madrid issued official statement. So they decided, because the initial stuff was for him to go and do surgery on his knee. So they decided that he will not do the surgery because it's a sprain in the knee. And others are advising it's better you do the surgery so that he will not experience a relapse. He wants to end La Liga and go to the World Cup. Some of the analysts are saying that it's better he forgo the World Cup, work on himself well, and get ready for the new season. If he continues to play that way, he will not go to the World Cup because the injury will resurface and it will be major. Knee injury is serious. Rodrigo Pahi out of the World Cup. Rodrigo out. So your Real Madrid people, now you don't think about your soul. I see you. The bagger you must be on whole day. I see you. So the news is on at 6 o'clock. Join us for that. King's Newsroom. And then at 6:50, Isiaka Sharif and Josephine Pello Johnson are in with CDC Hour. And then the radio czar himself is in, the teacher of the land, the light of the country, the teacher, the evangelist, the Anthony at Law, A.B. Will, with Face the Issues at 8 o'clock. Until tomorrow, this is how we go home.
2 leaders walking different lives. One leads with love, the other spite. George when Joseph Boca stands so clear. One brings hope,